Right, we're loaded up with our missions now, but what we've got to do before we can do them, we need an SRV. So we've got to go to outfitting. Just notice we're getting a bit low on fuel as well, need to fill that up. Yeah, if you look over here, some interesting information. This long line here, the solid one, is your like a reserve tank, and when you're flying around in Super Cruise, that's the one you're using. The blocks underneath are the fuel you use up for doing jumping. So I can't show you anymore because it's gone now. But so when that's run right out, you're dead in the water. So just keep an eye on that all the time. Right, what are we after? Optional internal. So we've got empty one here. That's where we want our SRV. There it is. 2G. Buying options. Buy. And we need the actual SRV itself. So we bought the hangar. Now we need the Scarab. There we go. So we got was it 4 missions in to do now. So this is how it works. It's dead simple. So launch, tips to engines. We're not going to do any shooting, so no need for weapons. So I'm in solo now. Better doing it in open, but it keeps crashing in open all the time. I just tried it just now, and that's why you might see a jump in the clock, and you just end up hanging all the time. So landing gear up, make sure there's nothing in front of you. If you're not in open, it's always very busy in front of the entrance, so just watch out for that. They keep flying in big ships that always go out right tight close to the green side. Right, now what we're looking for is the planet. If you come here into your navigation, when you know where it is, you can just go straight to it, but Cosmala rewards is what you want. So there it is there. So just use your frame shift drive. If you generally point towards the star, you can normally see it. So it just saves you a minute or 20 seconds not having to do that. So now you've got to watch out you don't overshoot because it's so close. So nearly immediately you want to set your throttle to 3/4, 75%, which is just below the blue zone. If you leave it in the blue zone this time, you will overshoot. So when we get close to the planet, normally you get mission updates, because I've just done it just now, they're not showing at the moment. But then when you look over here, you see search zones, so just click any one of them. Or it does make a little ring like that, you can target it directly on the planet, just by clicking on it. So what you want is, a gap. See how big that gap is? You want it about there. You mustn't go into that red zone that just showed there. So just keep pointing at it. So I'm coming in, 44 degrees. You see just either side of the target, 2 little pointers that say 40 at the moment. That's about the angle, between 40 and 44. If you fly over it a little bit, then the angle will increase. Should do 40. Okay, here we are, we're just dropping out into glide now. So just keep pointing at it. It's going to start dancing about in a minute, but just, you can try and follow it, but it's not easy. Here it goes. So this is where you have to be a little bit careful not to go into the ground. Quite high at the moment, just keep pointing at it. And if you've got shields, you don't need them, but if you have got shields, just maybe keep some pips to your shields. So really you want 4 to the engines for maximum speed. So full throttle now. What you've got to be careful of, if it dances behind you, not to turn immediately because you're going to the ground like that. So just nose up and turn like that. There it is. So there's the base that we want to scan. So when you get within about 1.5 kilometres, put your landing gear down. we're not landing just yet. So what I'm going to do now is use my side thruster. So I'm pushing to the side, and I'm yawing to keep pointing at it to get a good look. And what I'm looking for is the building. There it is at the back. They're different each time, but mainly, okay, this is the small one. So what you want is the building. You want to come over the building from that corner. So if we just fly past it now, you might get a warning, especially with the bigger ones. No, they've been kind to us at the moment because it's the first time. That you're in a trespass zone, so just fly through it. When you get to 150 meters, we're about there now, just come down and land. So if you look on the left hand side where it says outpost, just to the right of that it says 130 meters. That's your distance from it. So now we deploy the SRV. SRV deploy, and the base is going to be right in front of us. So that's why you want your rear facing it. Just saves a lot of messing about, looping around all the time. Now I don't think there's a trespass zone in this one, so I'm going to have to do a couple to show you everything. So what we're after is that orange beacon thing just hiding behind there. So we come here. This is the smallest station base. So once you see data point active, stop. You can put on the brake if you want. Bring up the turret. Position the thing approximately. Select it. Now, before doing anything, now check that says public on the left side there. See in bright red, data point public. That's if it says private, don't scan. So now I've got that on my secondary trigger. So just push the trigger, and now I've got my mission data. That's it. So all those missions are now complete. Handbrake off. So just reverse back. The ship becomes the SRV becomes a lot more docile, easier to control if you have no pips on the engines. So generally, it's best to keep it like that, and much easier to position it under the ship. Oops. I tend not to use the brake for this bit. Try and get it still. No, it's on a slope, so it's because then just saves you. So I've got to move a bit. Which way is it? That way. Whoop. Board ship. You've got to be directly underneath the hatch. Doesn't matter what angle you are, as long as your centre of view is under the centre of the hatch. That's pretty tricky in some of the bigger ships. You know, like the cutter. It's so high up. Not too sure when you're there, but with this it's dead easy. So just vertical, landing gear up and point to the sky, and it's roughly between those two blue blobs and the white, you know, about there somewhere. See how close they are. There it is there. So as soon as you press your frame shift drive, that escape vector comes. And then when your frame shifts going, navigate to Millerport again. You'll see the mission marker next to it. That was there. You might have seen that before, but that globe thing is a mission marker. So you don't want to be in too much hurry to point to the station. You want to leave the planet at right angles because you escape quicker that way. At the moment, the station's more or less in line with that. You know, it's just over there, so we could do it now. But later on, the mission target's going to move to the other side of the planet. So I'm still at full throttle. Once that's gone, those scales and things, you can start pointing at the station. Yeah, when it's around the other side, if you point to the station too quickly, you'll fly back towards the planet, and then it'll slow you right back down again. It's the same procedure as before. You know, I'm matching the angle and length of the image of the station with my dot. So it's, as soon as you get to 5 seconds this time, that speeds things up. You've got to try and keep that dot not too far away from the station. It's whirring away. And there we are, boom. You can just leave it in the blue zone and wait till you get safe disengage. So single boost, ask for docking permission, and you need to behave here because you want to be here for a long time, so no point in offending anybody by getting fines and bounties and things. So put your landing gear down, it's easier to keep the speed limit then. And you want to come in, you know, in the 90s, 84, 93. There you go, green side. So we want number 14, there it is on the left. So as I know where it is, this time I'm going to land like an aeroplane. So as we get close, take the pips off your engines to make it nice and easy. Saves you scooting about all the time. So a little bit down thrust, pitch up. There we go. So here comes easy money. Mission board. 1. So what do we get for that? 200,000. 330. 530. 650. That's what, for 10 minutes work. Is that a donation one? No. So now we just, there won't be any more missions there. You have to log, unfortunately. So struggling to get into open at the moment. So sometimes it crashes. You tend to get more missions offered in open for some reason or other. So now look, you can see there's something. So we got one there. We got the donation one as well. So I'm going to take the donation one just to speed things up. As I said, that's investment. That will pay back. It'll get us up here sooner. Sooner we're there, the better. So we've got 3 massacre missions there, nothing there. All donation missions here. 25. Yeah, I'm not going to take that one, but I'll do the lower ones. If you look down here, you'll see the rep going up with each one. But we need to get to there. That gets you to each mission's worth millions when you get there. So what we've got, just one here, 125,000. 2. So we take both of these. Remember, we don't want 3 yet. Okay, so here we go. What we got this time, more donations. You don't want to do these ones for clothing or whatever because you've got to travel 60 light years to get them. So we've got a couple there. Another donation. Stuff, armour. So not going to bother with those. I'm waiting until I get a big list. There's a load we can't do, one we can. Just see what, just try it a couple of times, see what happens. Probably this time I'm betting on. Ideally you want a list of about 4 or 6 or something like that. And so he's making 2 journeys. We could just take the 3 and go and do them, come back, and then just do what's there, you know. Doesn't make really much difference. So we've still got nearly 1 million, so we're right with these for the time being. We got into there now, you see that? So we might do that with this one as well. One more, I think. So he's in there, that's brilliant. So they're only offering us Massacre. He's not offering us anything. So right, so here we go. Because we've got into here now, we're getting some serious ones, like 200,000. We can take all of these. Bear in mind, we've already got 2, so that's 6 missions we got there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What about this one? No Massacre ones again. We need to get those up somehow or other. Right, so here we go.
Incoming mission critical message.
You can ignore all the messages and things like that. Don't waste your time seeing what they are. So pip set engines. Try not to go over the speed limit. So there's always a load of ships in front, so be careful about boosting out. So there's the planet right in front of us. So we've just got to get clear of mass lock. Nobody's going to shoot you. So this is a very safe, easy way to get loads of money. And it just goes up and up and up. At the moment we're making 1 million a trip now. Later on we're going to be making 5 million, then 10 million, then maybe even 20 or 30 million. I think the record I got was about 35 million just for one. So careful not to overrun. So just fly to the station. There it is there. So it might be on the other side of the planet, you know, like later. It moves round during the day or over a few days. So tomorrow it'll probably be much closer to the edge of the planet, and then the day after it'll be around the other side. Oops. Am I overshooting? Yeah. as soon as it goes to 4. So what you do now, just loop round. So lift your nose up above that green line and just fly, wide open throttle. It's there below us, so still not the right angle. Oh, no, messed up. So we're in glide now, so I've got to sort of try and circle round, but you can't steer it when it goes into glide. Where are we? Complete mess ups. So all you can do now is 4 pips to the engines and keep boosting. So I'll see you over there. Right, so here we are. We just arrived at the base. Let's have a look at it. Where is it? There it is down there. So there you are. You see, this is fairly normal. A sort of triangular building in the corner. So get your landing gear down. Whoops.
Landing gear deployed.
Where's the horizon gone? There it is. So I need to have another look at it now. See where we are. Right, there we are. So what you want to do is, same as before, just fly over it from that corner where the building is. No warning about a zone. That means no red fence. I'll explain the red fence when we get one. So a bit further. That's it, about 150 metres. So this one is more typical. The other one was a small one. So I'm taking my pips off the engines. It's a shame we got these lumps here because it's spoiling my explanation a little bit. No, there's only one beacon at this one and no red fence. So same procedure as before. Turret up. Target it. Public. That's okay. Scan it. So all those missions should complete with this one. So just check because they don't, sometimes they leave one behind. So there's our transactions. They've all updated. If you see a time on any of those still, and it's, even though it says updated, that means that one hasn't finished. So you have to find another beacon to scan. So that's just turn round, back to the station, and cash in our money. So here we go. Let's see what we got this time. Well, we had 900,000. So where have you got one of these signs? There's missions to hand in. So we've gone from 1.9 to 2.7 million. So it's at 1.8 million just for 10 minutes work. So let's see what the next mission board brings us. Right, we got one here with a trespass zone. I've just flown over it and it gave me the warning. So you see the this angled building in the corner, so come from that side and then fly over. There's the warning you get, you see. So 150 metres. Burned. These aren't as scary as they look. You get all these warnings and things, but you can just ignore everything. Right, what we're looking for, they don't all have that turret there, but there's a gap just there next to the turret. That's where we're looking to go in. See, look, there's the fence. So I'm just going to come out a bit so I can explain what to do. So this is a big fence, it's a long way from it, but you've still got plenty of time. Right, there you can see the beacon there behind the turret, and there's a gap just there, so I'm just going to park myself next to the turret. So what you've got to do, I don't know how long you've got, it's probably about 30 seconds. You've got to get in there, scan, and back out again. It is quite simple, but you want your SRV to be docile, so no pips on the engines. So in you go, you've got plenty of time. You can always get in this same spot. As soon as you see the data point active, oops, target it, oops, wrong one. Start scanning. It says public, so I'm okay. If it says private, don't forget you've got to come back out. So back out again. Just reverse straight out like that. And your ship will go, your SRV will go nice and straight. So once you're clear, everybody's forgotten about what you did. So they're all updated. So back in the ship and away. It's as easy as that. You don't have to worry about that red fence at all. You've got plenty of time. If you do mess up with targeting it, and it looks like you're running out of time, it takes you like more than 10 seconds to get the scan going, then what you want to do is reverse back out, recompose yourself, and then try again. And I normally wait outside about 20 seconds or so, just in case there's like a reset time. That's as easy as that. So back to the station, cash in again. Right, here's another one with the red fence. Same procedure. There's that triangle building. They're nearly always the same. So just fly over it. 150 metres. There's loads of skimmers and things, making it look a bit terrifying here. There's nothing to be frightened of. There's a red fence. So, same as there's a turret, there's that thing behind it again. Gap looks a bit tighter in this one, but if I get right up against the turret I should be alright. Target it, public, scan. Always check that public, don't forget. Otherwise all hell breaks loose. So just reverse straight out. And that's it. Oop. Just bashed into the ship, I think.
Drive assist on.
So same again here. It's a shorter red fence this time. So same gap there. Public. The one in the middle out the three, the one to the left that you can see, tends to be the private one. So always go for that one on the right. Oh, there's only two there. But when there's a third one, it's the middle one, that's the private one normally. Right, so far I've done everything right and make it look easy. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to deliberately do it wrong and show you how to get out of it. It might all go wrong, I don't know. Up till now, I've not been killed once. I've got nearly 100 million now. So let's just see how it goes then. So same procedure as before. What I'm going to do, I'm going to run in, scan, and then stop until I get the penalty, whatever that is, and then try and get out of that. What might happen to you is, like you messed up on the scanning, and it took you too long to get it, and you overrun the time, or you got your wheel stuck. And if you do get a wheel stuck, don't forget you've got a sort of thruster thing that can lift the SRV. If I just press it now, so you go up. So if your wheel's stuck on something, that's quite useful. So you can see all these skimmers and things looking very mean. So in we go. See what happens. So once you've got your scans, actually you're safe. So it's public, so I'm all right there. So I'm scanning. Right, so I've got that. They're safe. Whatever happens, even if I die. So I'm just going to wait now until I get the makeout's taking too long. See what happens. But quite a bit of time. We see how long we've got. Right, there you go. That's the warning. I'm in trouble now. See, they've all turned red. They start shooting me. All you need to do is just run away like this, backwards. And obviously you've got to be careful not to run into your ship. And what you want to do is dismiss your ship now. So there it is there, SRV, dismiss ship. Because what will happen is, when you get in the ship, I think you're wanted. There goes the ship, you can see it. So I've run away now, those skimmers, they chase you for a bit. Oh, another thing, I didn't do it this time, I forgot. But what you might want to do, every time you go into scan, just in case, you should put 4 pips to your shields. That'll help you when you run away. If I come back now, they'll shoot me again. So we can have a bit of a chase. But what'll happen if you go too fast forward, this thing, especially with any pips to the engines. With no pips to the engines, it's much more stable. But if you go full throttle, the thing keeps spinning round. But mysteriously, when you go backwards, it's steady as a rock. So you can just go full throttle backwards all the time, especially if you've got no pips. So see if we can make that turret start shooting us. So no, nobody's shooting us now. We're waiting for us to have another go at it. See what happens. So it all seems a bit scary, when you don't know what happens, but when you do, that turret's getting ready this time. Is he going to shoot? If he does, I don't think we'll last that long. So you can check the time and see how long you actually get before. Well, this is interesting because I'm sure I've gone over the time. And they're not even bothered. Oh, here we go. So I've got 4 pips to the shields this time. Is that turret going to shoot us? I better start moving back just in case. So somebody's shooting all the skimmers. So you see his shield's going down a bit, so I'm just full throttle backwards again. There's one chasing us this time for a bit. See him? Whoop. So with 4 pips to the shields, they can't do anything. You don't have to fight back. Now, what's happened is if you got in your ship, so don't go for your ship. If you did go in your ship, then those other ships will start shooting it and kill you. So again, it's not a problem. What will happen is you'll just end up back in the station with your scan data. So you've made your 4 million or whatever it is, and you just get a replacement Sidewinder for 20k or whatever. So you made a massive profit. So it's not the end of the world. These ships, they stay green if you look. So they won't attack you in the SRV, but they will attack you when you get in your ship. If you get in it, you'll see that you're wanted, I think. So you can now, notice that you have a choice of things. You can just run right away, and mysteriously, those ships always seem to follow you a bit. So you have to go a very, very, very long way to get completely clear. Or you can use the quick method, which is just to log out and log back in again. You can log in any mode. Doesn't have to be a different one, but I'll just try a different one for good luck. And then they've all gone. You wouldn't be able to find them if you wanted them. So all you then do is just recall your ship, which is in the button where you press for your SRV. It won't come straight away. Yeah, it comes down. There's about a 10-second delay from when you log in to when you can actually call it. So just wait for a bit, and then you can call it. So just wait for it. Now, you can land anywhere here. Let's see how close it comes. You'll probably be miles away. And generally, when you recall your ship, don't be too quick to go. You know it's over there somewhere, but don't. And it's coming down. Don't go running to it just yet. If you get too close, sometimes it changes its mind and goes back up again. So just be patient. Wait till it's in its final landing. It'll stop like that. Once it starts going down, it's going to land. There it goes. So now you can go after it. You'd be surprised how many times. It's so frustrating. You go running over there, and just when you get to it, back up it goes again. I'm not too sure why it does that. I mean, it could land anywhere here. I don't know why it didn't land right next to me. Again, with no pips to the engines, it's much easier to control this SRV. You know, when you turn like there, it's skidding a bit there now. It always turns 180 degrees. And then when you start up again, it's all over the place. So if I put 4 pips, well, I won't do it now because I'm there, but if you had 4 pips, you know, it's almost uncontrollable. Maybe it depends what sticks you've got. You know, if you had like very unsensitive ones, then probably be better. So that's it. Now let's just see what happens when we get in the ship. We might be wanted. If you accidentally, let me think, how do you get one? Yeah, if you accidentally scan a private beacon, you get the same thing straight away. So it's like you've overrun the time. It is quite easy to do that when you, because 9 times out of 10 they're not private, and then all of a sudden they are, and it catches you out every time. So let's see if we become wanted. But if you're wanted, so see where it says fuel on the right hand side, it'll say wanted in red above that. And if it says wanted, then you can't go back to the station just yet. What you have to do is fly. I'll show you just now. So get yourself into Super Cruise. Okay, it seems that we're not wanted this time. Let's see what's in here. Transactions. Underneath those missions. No, we didn't even get a fine. That's weird. But normally you see something there that says bounty or fine. So if you've got a bounty in there and you see wanted on the right now because you scanned a private beacon, then what you got to do, use your Galaxy navigation panel, and I think it's one of these two, either that, not that one, either that one or that one, is a planet that you can system you can fly straight to. Yeah, see how on the little mini compass the dots solid, that means you can go straight to it. If it's hollow, it'd be the other side of the planet you've just taken off from, so you can't jump to it, so you've got to fly all the way around first. So out of those two I just showed you, one of those is normally a solid white dot. So now you just press your frame shift drive and go to it, and that's it. And you wait there for 8 minutes until the timer's expired. When you check your transactions over here, there'll be one that says your bounty. And what you do is you wait, keep checking it until it says in a time, it'll say 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, go down and down and down. And finally, not when it says 0 minutes, you've got to wait till it says on H jump. When it says on H jump, you can jump back to Quince here, go to the station, and everybody's forgotten about what you did. So that's what you have to do if you get a bounty on you by scanning a private one. Seems that if you just overrun the time, you don't get anything, just they shoot you. So I don't want to go there. So now back on my navigation. Oops. Back to the station, and that's it. So where is it? It's the other side of me now. So hopefully that'll help you. So it's not as scary as you think, you know, being shot at. And even if, as I say, even if you die, even if you completely mess up, the most important thing is, before anything, if it looks like it's all going wrong, dismiss your ship. And what happened then is the ship goes up into orbit, and when you get killed in the SRV, you respawn in the ship. So then, depending whether you're wanted or not, you can go back to the station or jump to another system. But there'll be nobody attacking you there. Well, if they are, you know, you're halfway away already, so just get your frame shift drive going and you'll be out of there before anybody bothers you. So I'm going to deliberately overshoot this time. So I've got the timer down to 5 seconds now. As long as I keep the pointer close to the station, I should be able to. Things are going to get twitchy now. Here we go. So that saved me quite a few seconds getting in there. So that's how to mess up and live to tell the tale. And probably you will mess up and get killed, but just it isn't important. Don't get too upset about it. In this scenario, you don't lose anything. Right, 4-3. Let's just see where we are now. Oops, what am I called? Roof. Not too many pips, that's why. Just going to check. No, there's no fines to pay. See, we're coining it in now.